guys, welcome back to Budget Friendly Cooking. I am Donna and today we are going to bake a cake. Yes, we're going to bake a cake from my book. And this is gonna be apple cake. We don't have a picture, but we're gonna take a picture of it later. So this is probably the only episode on my channel that we're baking a cake because I'm a horrible baker. So even in my book, like the section of desserts is very small. I have probably like 7 or 8. And the reason why I'm a horrible baker is that I don't like to measure things. But I promise we're gonna measure things today and we'll see what happens. This cake was my daughter's favorite cake. My mom used to make it when we lived in Georgia. And I think I only made once when I was working on the cookbook, and I think it worked well. It was like such a long time ago that I don't even remember, but we're gonna test it today with you and see what happens. So in the recipe for the meringue, it calls for cream of tartar. I'm not sure that my mom was using cream of tartar. It's just like to make a good shiny meringue and like steady. I learned that you need cream of tartar and a little bit of water to keep it like nice and firm. But I could not find it, so we're gonna skip it and make it an old way with just egg white and sugar. So here the list of the ingredients: 4 eggs, 1 cup sugar, half a cup butter, 2 cups flour, 1 cup plain yogurt, 1 tablespoon baking powder, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, 1 tablespoon lemon juice. For the icing and filling, we need half lemon, 2 apples for egg whites, 1.5 cup sugar, and vanilla extract, and pinch of salt. That's it. We're gonna skip cream of tartar and water. I'm gonna start with eggs. So we have to separate egg yolks and egg whites gently. This is actually a very satisfying feeling how you do that without breaking the egg yolk. There you go. It's always good to have the eggs and all the ingredients room temperature. And the last one. There you go, perfect. Next, we need sugar. 1 cup sugar, right? So you can always do less sugar, I think. And we have to make it like nice and creamy. So right now it's yellow, and then after a while it will turn kind of more white and creamy. It's gonna take about like 3-4 minutes. If you have stand-up mixer, it's probably easier. But I kind of like to use like hand mixer because this way you just kind of do your own direction and thing. So look how it's changing the color. So believe it or not, we used to make this and call it gogli mogli and eat it. That was our dessert. It's kind of zabayon, right? It was so delicious. I remember in the village, so my grandmother had a lot of eggs, of course, and all the kids were making their own, like kind of whipping it and whisking it in the individual cups. And then at the end of the day, there were like, 20 dirty cups left in the kitchen. And if you don't wash it right away, it sticks and it dries and it's horrible to wash. And of course, my grandma was cursing us and yelling that we did not wash the cups. So, oh, that looks nice and fluffy. I know that like in America, you guys hear me? Do you hear me? I know in America they say that you cannot eat raw eggs, but I can. Don't try it though. Safety, safety, but look how pretty is that. Okay, now we're gonna add melted butter. Next, we're gonna add yogurt, baking powder, lemon juice, vanilla. This is Greek yogurt. You can substitute with sour cream. I think sour cream will be fantastic. Perfect. Baking powder, let's not forget. So when I bake, I always think of my friend who is a perfectionist in baking. He's an amazing baker and he measures everything like in grams, like 53 grams, as if like if you put 54 grams, it's gonna hurt, but it's just like, I will never be able to bake one of his recipes. All right, lemon juice, vanilla, and I'm not gonna measure vanilla, okay? I'm gonna do one thing that we don't measure. All right, time for flour. Okay, more. There you go, and we're gonna fold in the flour. Okay, that's perfect, that looks good. That is actually perfect consistency. We can just grease the pan, but I kind of like to put that parchment paper first. It doesn't stick, just a little bit. And okay, that goes in. There you go. Okay, that's gonna kind of spread, so don't worry about that. All right, I'm gonna put it in the oven. I preheated my oven to 350 and set the timer to 20 minutes. And then I will check with the toothpick if it's nice and dry and baked, because different ovens take different times and I have it 20 minutes in the recipe, but it might take longer or less, so we're gonna check that. Okay, check that. That looks good. That looks dry. There you go. See, this way it's easy to take this out. So the cake was in the oven for actually 20-30 minutes, because when I checked 20 minutes later it was not ready, so I added 10 more minutes and now it's done. So we're gonna let this cool here and we're gonna prep our apple and meringue. All right, I peeled one apple already and I am peeling the second one. And then we're gonna grate this apple. Oops. Ooh, that looks good. So we're just gonna grate that zest, lemon zest for the lemon flavor. And then I'm just gonna juice it. Okay. So what lemon does is it actually prevents the apple from turning brown. So kind of need that. And it looks very juicy, the apple, because it was like Honey Crisp apple. So I'm gonna mix that, make sure that all the lemon flavor is absorbed by the apple. And then I'm gonna squeeze that juice out, because I want to use just apple and not that, and we're gonna drink that apple juice. All right, that looks much better, so that should be good. That's how it should be, guys. Okay, nice and dry. This is actually the most scary part, because it never worked when I was baking when I was a kid. To make it nice and white and fluffy. It takes some time. So we gradually add the sugar, little by little. I could just leave it like that, but I want to try to cook this on water bath and kind of make it more shiny and steady and firm. So I have water here, just a little bit, like maybe an inch, and I want to kind of boil and like let it simmer. So we cook this on the water bath, and you have to be kind of pretty fast so it does not curdle and cook in the bowl. So. Okay, this is ready, guys. This is a perfection. Oh my god, I cannot even believe that I did that. So proud of myself. Cake is ready. I let it cool until it was cold. I put it in the fridge actually because I just could not wait. And I'm cutting in half. So you can bake the cake in 2 pans, and that way you won't need to cut it, but it's still a little warm inside, but it looks pretty nice. Okay, just a little bit. So we're gonna put the apple, part of the apples here, and the apples still have a little bit of juice, and it's good because it's gonna make the dough, the cake moist. Actually, you know what, I'm just gonna put all the apples here, and then on top I won't put anything. I'll just put the meringue, no apples. Okay, that looks good. And then we put that. Cannot rush that, guys, okay? That's why I'm not a baker. But if I can do that, you can do that too. Okay. Oops, I think that should be enough. I'm gonna put the top and the rest of it on top. Just do whatever you guys want, okay? Just kind of like waves or like that, or just make it flat. How about a little lemon zest over to make it look pretty? Ah, there you go. I think that looks so much nicer. It kind of has a little finishing look. Okay, no more.